יום כיפור לזמן
כן, ל5 דקות. אחר כך נקבל כבר טלפונים ל106.
הסבירו לנו שזה לזמן קצוב.
משכים את הזה, אתה זוכר, אתה משם, אתה משך את זה, כל הזה, בואו אתם תצטרפו.
רק עם חוט אחד.
חוט אחד,
זה כמו בצופים, למשוך
לצד שמאל.
מה?
בואי לצד שמאל.
כן.
תעמדי הפוך. לא, הפוך. כן.
וככה?
כן.
אוקיי.
בואו אחורה. בואו אחורה. רגע.
רק יותר רגילה.
רגע. אוקיי.
4, 3, 2, 1.
כן, אפשר.
3, 4.
לא עכשיו...
תודה.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the unveiling of the plaque of the Sir Leslie Porter Square ceremony, where we are honoring Sir Leslie Porter, first Chancellor of Tel Aviv University. Dame Shirley Porter couldn't join us in person, but she is nevertheless very much present and with us online. Hi, Shirley. Definitely. I'm sure you'll all join us in sending her our best wishes and warm regards. I'm honored to invite President of Tel Aviv University, Professor Ariel Porat, to speak.
Deputy Mayor Reuven Ladiansky, the Porter family, speakers, colleagues, friends, and guests. I cannot tell you how honored I am to be here for this milestone moment. Today we commemorate the late Sir Leslie as well as celebrate the decades-long friendship between Tau and the Cohen-Porter family. Sir Leslie Porter was a fervent advocate of higher education in Israel and a champion of Tel Aviv University. He served as Chancellor of the university, was chairman of the Board of Governors, and was awarded an honorary doctorate from Tau in 1974. He is fondly remembered here at Tau not only for his generosity and vision, but for his warmth, good humor, and gentlemanly ways. Sir Leslie legendary partnership with his wife, Dame Shirley, was instrumental in making the university what it is today. Their generosity significantly advanced the growth and evolution of the university and can be seen throughout virtually all corners of the campus, particularly in fields that were close to their hearts. Indeed, when you visit the campus, you notice that the university and the Cohen-Porter family are almost synonymous. It's quite remarkable just how much impact this single family has had on the university, how much it has shaped the academic and physical development of the campus through countless important projects. The flagship, of course, being the Porter School of Environment and Earth Sciences and its fabulous dedicated building. And luckily for us, the Cohen-Porter family's legacy of giving and involvement with Tau now extends to the second, third, and fourth generations, who are also with us here today. This is a direct reflection of the success of Sir Leslie and Dame Shirley in instilling their deep philanthropic passion among their children and grandchildren, and in ensuring they feel just as at home at Tau as they did. I can think of no more worthy means of perpetuating Sir Leslie's legacy than dedicating this square in his name and memory. Thank you.
Thank you, President Porat. I would like to invite Deputy Mayor of Tel Aviv, it's not university, Tel Aviv Yafo, you're right. Advocate, almost, yeah. Reuven Landiansky, please.
Dame Shirley Porter, the Porter family, Professor Ariel Porat, Tel Aviv University President, dear guests. It is a great honor to be at this important event, unveiling of the plaque at the Sir Leslie Porter Square. I would like to thank the Porter family to their invaluable contribution to the city of Tel Aviv Yafo, and especially for their contribution to all matters concerning the environment and sustainability. At the Tel Aviv Yafo municipality, we are deeply committed to addressing environmental issues and dealing with climate change. There is close cooperation between the municipality and Tel Aviv University regarding technologies and policies relating to climate change, sustainability, and the environment and ecology as a whole. The results of that cooperation can be seen in the holistic climate crisis program that was launched a little over a year ago. Once again, I wish to thank again Dame Shirley and the entire Porter family. In closing, I'm certain that we will continue to witness your great contribution to Tel Aviv Yafo for many more years to come, and to the field of the environment and sustainability in particular. Thank you all.
Mr. President, can you join us for a second? We'd like to, last but not least, we would like to welcome Linda Streit, Sir Leslie and Dame Shirley's daughter, and her daughter, Joanna Landau, to speak on behalf of the Porter family. But first, we have something small for you. So please join us.
Oh, small, not so small. It's quite big. Okay, let me read it for you and for the audience. This is to witness that on the 14th day of October 2021, Sir Leslie Porter Square was inaugurated, thereby perpetuating the memory and legacy of Sir Leslie, former Tau Chancellor, Governor and Honorary Doctor, honoring his achievements and leadership as one of the most successful British businessmen of the late 20th century, celebrating the long-standing commitment of the Porter family to advancing higher education and supporting the State of Israel, and demonstrating the family's valued cross-generational friendship, dedication, and generosity toward Tel Aviv University, spanning half a century. And I'm signed here. Thank you. תודה רבה. תודה. Okay. Okay.
Linda.
So, hello everybody. It's wonderful. Can you hear me well? Yeah? A little bit low? Okay, everybody. Right, thank you very much. It's wonderful to see you all here. I can't believe that this day has actually come. But before, I just want to make one correction, because we are not 4 generations. We're actually, I'm just trying to count. There was my grandparents, that's the Cohens. My parents are the Porters. I'm now Streit. Joanna is Landau and her children. So we're like 5 generations here today. So now I want to tell you a bit about my daddy, because that's to me who he is. And I was very much a daddy's girl and always will be. He was a wonderful, wonderful father. And it was very important to my mother, as you said, he was a very important businessman. But we as children, we would come home from school and we would do our homework and we would have our bath and we'd be in our pajamas. And then we would wait for him and we would have dinner every night at 7 o'clock, which in English time is quite late. It was very important that we had that family time together, and I really cherished it. Later on, when I was competing in riding championships throughout England, so I used to have to wear all the gear, the boots and everything, and Daddy, who was very much an army person, I'll tell you about that in a second, but he used to look at my boots and he used to say to me, I can't see my face in them, give them to me. And then he'd get them and he'd spit on them and he'd polish them so that I looked like an army person. The army was very important, it was very much part of his life. And we at home, there were certain things that you had to do. You had to turn the lights off. You mustn't waste things. And he was very organized, very loving, and a wonderful, wonderful person. And it's great here to be here at the university and carrying things on. This is our legacy, to pass it on to the next generation. And there's a lot of very important people here, but as you can see, my mother can't be with us due to health reasons. But her very old friend Miriam Ben Chaim is here, and I'm delighted you're here, because when I came on Aliyah, Miriam was in loco parentis, and she still is, so I'm delighted you're here with us today. And also I have special greetings from my brother John, who, because of COVID, unfortunately, couldn't be with us. So he's saying hi, John. He's saying hi from Switzerland. And now I'm going to pass on to Joanna, who's going to say a few words about her grandpa.
So I came with props. Okay. Hi everyone, lovely to see you all. Very thrilled to be here with the Porter building in front of me. Between us, we all know that's really Grandma's vision and Grandma's sort of legacy. But of course, Grandpa was always right next to her. And therefore, it's very fitting that we should have this beautiful roundabout dedicated in his memory. Thank you to the university, thank you for Tel Aviv, Yafo, for enabling that and stopping the traffic and so on and so forth. So I want to talk very briefly about Grandpa as a grandpa. We all know he was really, truly one of England's greatest businessmen. He was a true philanthropist, he was a Zionist, he was many, many things, and that you can read about everywhere. But what we don't know is how was he at home? And I think as Mummy said, I'm here representing the next generation, his grandchildren. Sadly, Daniel can't be with us, but there's Ella and Leo, John's children, who are significantly younger than me, and were not able to be here either, but they're here in spirit. And Grandpa was a family man, very much a family man. And I want to share 3 things with you about him, and that's why I brought 2 props and one other thing at the end. So the first one is that, as I said, he was a Zionist. He was very, very strongly Jewish, but if anybody knew him, he was extremely secular. Okay? Right? Whoever knew him knew what I'm talking about. He was a very secular guy, but Judaism for him was very much a part of who he was. And when I was a teenager, I decided that I wanted to go to boarding school in England. And I went to a Jewish boarding school in Oxfordshire. And I used to go to Grandma and Grandpa for Friday nights and weekends every so often. And we always had a proper kiddush. And when we had the kiddush, they had a lovely kiddush book, right, the Siddur. And I must have mentioned something about how I liked it, because this is the kiddush, the book, the Siddur. And I must have said I liked it because I can see here, I looked at the date, we use this today. So when we're at Mummy's, I think Mummy has exactly the same one as well. So Eli does the kiddush with it. And at home, either Idan, my husband, or Amit, our son, does the kiddush. very gender favorable, sorry, in that respect. But I actually have in his writing from Grandpa and Grandma on the 31st of September 1990. So I remember this must have been when I was still at boarding school. I said I liked it. Grandpa and Grandma decided to give it to us because part of who we are is very much Jewish. Whether you're religious, secular, whatever it is, being Jewish is something that we feel strongly about, and we pass it down to our children as well. So that was one thing I wanted to share with you. Mummy also said that Grandpa was an army man, which he was. He didn't spit on any of my shoes, but it was very much part of who he was, and I think we'll be hearing that a little bit later. But a day before Daniel started the army, actually Grandpa wrote him a letter, and it's in, obviously because Daniel's no longer with us, we framed it, and it was hanging still in the apartment in Herzliya. And I want to read that letter to you because it says something about who he was as a human being, and not just a philanthropist and a businessman and all these different things. So, and by the way, it's very relevant because Amit, our son, is starting the army after a mechina this year. And Mia, who's 17, will then go after him, and then Zoe eventually, and so on. Okay, my dear Daniel, we wish you every success as you start tomorrow on a further stage in your career. He viewed it as a career, right? Remember. You are joining the Israeli Defense Forces more or less at the same age as I joined the British Army at the time to fight, and this was all in capitals, the Nazi war criminal Adolf Hitler. Actually, he was in the army, he was in this area in Egypt, El Alamein, right? Spoke a little bit of Egypt, of Arabic. We sincerely hope that you will have an interesting and peaceful period in your wonderful life. I think you will find that you are all the same in the forces. That was very important to Grandpa. You can come from a family of means, but in the end, especially in the army, and that was for me as well, I came back after boarding school, I joined in the army. It was when I was in the army, I decided to want to make Israel my home. In the army, you're just like everybody else. Nobody gets preference and so on, and that was very important to Grandpa. It's instilled in us as a family. So he said, you will find that you are all the same in the forces, that you will make delightful friendships, and I know things are different now, but my time in the army was the happiest days of my life until I met Dame Shirley, who gave me such lovely children and terrific, capital letters, grandchildren. Go and enjoy yourself. You will be pleasantly surprised at finding out another great dimension in your life. All my love, Grandpa. So that was his message to him, and it was very much part of who he was. And I think what it really shows us is the third thing I wanted to say, that Grandpa was many things. In the end, he was a family man. And he's right here leading the way to the building next to Grandma. And their legacy is here together. We feel it's very fitting that it's in this campus, in this city, in this land that he loved so much, and that the way we're going to be able to really create real roots is to see his great-grandchildren planting something in his honor. So thank you very much for coming, and I know it's not easy, but I'm glad we're all here during COVID times, and hi Grandma, and hi John, and hi Ella and Leo, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Linda and Joanna, for this moving words. And now, almost the end, but thank you all for participating. And now I would like to invite you and to witness the tree planting ceremony. I'm competing with the buses. Tree planting ceremony, symbolic of the Porter family's continued legacy, passing to the Cohen Porter family's third, fourth, and now we learned fifth generation. And of course, Lando, of course, I know. Legamre, absolutely. The staunch commitment of environment, we're here. So Leslie and Dame Shirley's three great-grandchildren, Amit, Maya, and Zoe, Mia, will now plant the tree. Mia, Zoe, Amit, בבקשה.
She knows. מתי זה קורה?
כשהם יסיימו, ואז...
אז איפה ג'ואנה תעמוד לי?
כן. אז יש מהצד השני.
אנחנו נהיה מהצד הזה, אנחנו לא רוצים את הרקע של המשאיות. נעמוד ככה. אריאל, אתה עומד איתם?
כן, אריאל, תעמוד איתם, ואז נעשה צילום. עמוס, אתה רוצה גם...
הצד הזה, בגלל ה...
ביחד, יאללה, תכנסי את הזה, תעשו שם את ה... תעמוד אולי ליד ג'ואנה שהיא
אנחנו פה, אנחנו פה.
איפה שיעמוד אריאל?
לא, אריאל שם אצלנו.
אריאל שם? איפה אתה אומר?
איך שאתם רוצים. אוקיי.
לא, תני לי לכוון, אחרי זה אני אעשה.
יאללה. 8, 7, 6,
גו! חזק, חזק, חזק!
איזה יופי. ממש יפה. יפה מאוד, באמת, יפה.
תודה רבה.
לא לומדים היום לקרוא הפוך בבית ספר.
זה שלומדים לקרוא זה כבר...
אצלנו כבר לא. סלח שבת יעשו, אבל פעם, אצלנו לא. אצלנו לא נותנים משתים. נדיר מאוד. אין לנו כמעט נגיעת משתים. No, this is an oak tree. It's an oak tree.
אני לא מתפלא על זה.
This is an oak tree. אמא ביקשה לשים מוזיקה שקשורה לשבת.
ג'ואנה זה מעצמה. ג'ואנה זה מעצמה. What? It's an oak tree. I'm looking, it's an oak tree.
I don't know what's a cork tree.
What?